All I gotta say is that I told you so. I told you that Lazio would beat Bayern Munich. Now, to be fair, I did say that Lazio were going to cause the upset and eventually qualify for the quarterfinals. In this case, they did win the first leg, which is huge. But, you know, they still have another leg to play. But anyways, I was pretty happy with myself for predicting that Lazio would go through or at least win this first leg. That was for all the people that doubt my ball knowledge. Just jumping straight into it, Bayern Munich did not play well at all in that second half. Lazio, to be fair, I think should have scored earlier in the game. They should have scored in the first half, maybe like in the last 2 minutes of the first half. They had like that one really good chance, but Bayern Munich, in my opinion, were all over Lazio in that first half, and they should have been up. And to be honest, they didn't even register a shot on goal that whole game. So that is pretty disappointing for a side like Bayern Munich. The goal came from a penalty, and it was a well-deserved penalty. Upamecano came so incredibly late in that challenge. Studs up, right in the shin, red card. He's going to be gone. No real complaints there. Harry Kane has had a shocker of a game. I mean, this guy has been in incredible form all season long, but in these last couple games for Bayern Munich, he hasn't really done anything for Bayern Munich, and it's pretty worrying. But for this second leg, they will go to Germany and play in the Allianz Arena, where I don't think Bayern Munich should really struggle at home, especially on a one-goal deficit. Like, if Lazio pull off like the unpredictable and they beat these German giants, this would be Bayern Munich's first season where they don't win any sort of silverware in over 10 years. Like I said, I predicted that Lazio were going to go through to the quarterfinals and knock out Bayern Munich, and I still am sticking with that prediction. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think Bayern are just going to qualify and beat Lazio in that second leg, or do you think that Lazio actually have a shot away from home? Okay, now that I got that off my chest, I was just really excited to share that I hopefully will get this prediction right. But I'm going to skip over the Manchester City game against Copenhagen because I think we all knew who the winner of that game was going to be. City won comfortably 3-1, and we're not going to really talk much about that. I will talk about Real Madrid's game, though, against RB Leipzig. Real Madrid were extremely lucky to get a win out of this. I said that RB Leipzig were going to be competitive, especially at home against Real Madrid. They have something to prove, and that's exactly what they did. They competed against Real Madrid, and I think they should have at least scored one goal. You can't deny, like, Brahim's goal was just, like, an absolute banger, so we can't really complain about that. But looking back on the stats here, 50-50 possession. RB Leipzig had a 1.37 XG compared to Real Madrid's 1.43. So they had similar XGs, the same possession. Leipzig had 14 shots, Madrid had 15 shots. Leipzig had 9 on target, Real Madrid had 3 on target. They both had the same passing completion rate. So literally, this was like a very even game. I spoke to a lot of people about this game. Everybody just told me that you're crazy. Real Madrid are just going to win very comfortably. And I'm like, no, you guys don't sleep on RB Leipzig. They're going to be competitive. They're going to put on a show, especially at home. Honestly, I mean, I would be pretty disappointed if I was RB Leipzig. They had a goal ruled out due to an offside call, which is completely understandable. Like, the player was interfering with the goalkeeper or interfering with play, so it makes him offside and whatever. It's a weird rule, but it's not like a controversial one. It's just controversial that the fact that it did lead to a goal and it was ruled out, and it was against Madrid. And we already know that whole thing with Madrid and the refs and whatnot, and I'm not going to go into that again. But if you do want to check a video where I talk about referees in Real Madrid, somehow, you know, building a partnership, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Okay, and lastly, really quickly, we have PSG versus Real Sociedad. Now, I said the same thing. I said that this game should not be taken lightly. I said Real Sociedad should be taken seriously. They've been in pretty poor form in these last couple games, but this is not a team to just be taken lightly. Do not get complacent with them. And what did PSG do? They did not finish their dinner, at least in the first half. In the first half, it was all Sociedad. Sociedad should have at least scored 1 or 2 goals in that first half. They should have had the lead. This game should have ended in a tie. It all ended up with a mistake that came in the second half where there was an injury on the play, and then there was a corner kick for PSG, and then Mbappe was left wide open because Kubo was marking him, which is crazy. But yeah, Traore got injured. He came off the field. Kubo ended up marking Mbappe, and like Kubo just completely left him alone, gave him all the time and space in the world to score. Can't really blame Kubo though. It's really weird, and that's something that I feel like the game has to fix. The fact that a player comes off, now that team has to play a man down, and then the play keeps going. I feel like at that point, this is going completely off topic, by the way. If Sociedad's player Traore gets injured, he goes down, the trainer comes sees him, he should come off. But either the play has to stop, like the game can't continue until he comes back on, or they bring in a temporary sub, because there is just no way that Real Sociedad now have to play a man down for something that isn't really their fault. He was marking Mbappe, and then all of a sudden he started like grabbing his left leg. I don't know if I think he pulled a muscle, but it's like, that's not his fault. That's not Real Sociedad's fault. That's not PSG's fault. That's nobody's fault. So why are we punishing the team for just getting injured naturally? That's something that really doesn't sit well with me, because that did end up costing them a goal, because literally in that next play after Traore went down, that's when PSG got the opening goal. Can't really do much about that. I really wish FIFA or IFAB could fix that or change the rules where you could bring on like a temporary sub for an injured player, and then as soon as that injured player is cleared, then he can come back on and take that temporary sub out. Or if he's not clear to go back in, then just keep that sub that went in for him, keep him in, and then they just use a sub, and that's it. I don't make the rules. I just talk in front of the camera. I mean, congratulations on Barcola for PSG. He got his 3rd goal with the PSG shirt on. I believe that was his 1st in the Champions League as well. So big ups to him. I'm really upset that this ended in a 2-0 win against PSG. I think Real Sociedad should have walked away with at least a draw, but that's just football, and that's just how it is. But I'm really glad that I made that predictions video, because everything that I've pretty much said has come true in these 2 sets of games. And I'm really happy with the amount of competitiveness that came in this round of 16. All of these games, except for maybe the City game, have been pretty entertaining to watch, and they've all been really competitive. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about football and soccer, and thank you for listening to my opinion. I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. Please do that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next week.